This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com for a big daily wrestling news update for you. I decided against watching SmackDown tonight, but I did watch the first part of it, and they put up a graphic for Bushwhacker Luke, WWE Hall of Famer, who passed away this week. So happy to see that he gets the respect he deserves. I just finished watching Dana White on the Pat McAfee show, who was talking about the UFC sale to WWE or UFC merging with WWE, and he brought up that UFC grew 3 times in size and profitability since Endeavor bought it. And he doesn't see how that wouldn't happen with WWE. The one thing with UFC is there's a lot of MMA training. They do have their own problems with not that many big stars right now. I mean, McGregor's in the twilight of his career. Masvidal is kind of in the twilight of his career. John Jones will be around for a bit. But I mean, it just seems like as far as future MMA fighters, every town has MMA gyms where wrestling there seems to be more of a serious problem with creating their own stars. They're doing a good job bringing in guys like Logan Paul and Pat McAfee, or however you pronounce his name, sorry, um, to be the stars that they can't create on their own anymore. But it'll be interesting to see if they can make WWE three times as large in the next 5 years. That's a big job considering they've got John Cena now winding down, Brock Lesnar winding down, Roman Reigns. He says he'll be around for a while, part time, but I see that as a bit of an issue. He also talked about Power Slap, that he's very determined to make Power Slap a success. And for the past 3 days, he's been in Miami, where UFC is taking place tomorrow night, talking to sponsors about Power Slap. And he's confident it will be a success. He did mention that they have a 250 million view YouTube short, which is by far the biggest YouTube short on the internet. I guess the WWE's biggest short is like 60 million and the NFL's is like 21 million. So, I mean, Power Slap does translate well to YouTube shorts. He also mentioned, as far as Francis Ngannou, he's zero interested in ever talking to Francis again. He said that they had like 75 dinners trying to convince Ngannou, like his people, to fight John Jones, offered him ridiculous money, and he kept turning him down. So they fully gave up on Ngannou. He said he doesn't see he sees Brock Lesnar as being like a very special person as far as a wrestler that can cross over into UFC. He doesn't see a lot of wrestlers crossing into UFC because basically, look at CM Punk was brought up as an example. As far as UFC guys going to WWE, he says he doesn't see it happening any more than it's happening now. But we'll see what the Endeavor owners have to say about that, because I mean, there's a lot of people. As I said, I watched George Masvidal's interview yesterday, and it was more entertaining than any of the recent interviews I've seen in WWE. So maybe Endeavor would like actually push for some of these bigger stars like McGregor, the Masvidals, or even John Jones down the road to become wrestlers as well. You never know, especially with the difficulty in making new stars in wrestling. He brought up, by the way, that the only 2 fights he could never pull off were Ngannou against Jones and Lesnar against Fedor. So, you know what? He could probably pull off Lesnar against Fedor now, and that would still be a pretty interesting fight, to be honest with you. Although I wouldn't hold my breath for that one. Apparently, Jeff Hardy is recovering from some eye surgery right now, and it's going to be a while before he's medically cleared to do anything physical again. And he recently went on a break with his family. This is according to Matt Hardy, which was reported by Dave Meltzer. Dave Meltzer also said the plan all along was for Roman Reigns to defeat Cody Rhodes. According to sources within the WWE, they just kept it very quiet. Finn Balor revealed that he suffered a torn calf on March 10th, but still was able to wrestle in WrestleMania. Meanwhile, you got the Impact guys surrendering a title for a torn tricep, where Steve Austin tore his tricep in Japan and still wrestled the whole tour. We just did 6-man matches. I tore my chest like 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I don't even really remember. And I wrestled the next month. I'm not saying that you can continue wrestling without fully rehabbing a tear, but it's bizarre that companies would rather have talent forfeit a title than have them just do a quick match and drop a title. It boggles my mind. I mean, a tricep tear is not totally debilitating. You could still have a match and drop a title, but you know what? I'm not going to watch Impact anytime soon. I just have to. It's funny, we hardly ever see news reported about women of wrestling, and it usually gets 3 times the ratings of Impact in New Japan, and bigger than MLW, which hasn't been doing great for ratings lately. But for some reason, women of wrestling get shunned for whatever reason. Hello, James. Thank you. I wish all of you guys a great Easter weekend too. Dark background effect. That's just me being too lazy to get up and turn on a light. And also Piper's sleeping beside me.